Okay, so the first tip for applying to grad school, the first step is to decide if that's really what you want. Grad school is a huge undertaking. It is several years of your life. Your mental health will be compromised just from a function of grad school, of studying, of being in school, having outside pressures on you. It's a long process. It's an arduous process. It's a huge undertaking. So knowing if grad school is what you want to do in the first place is really, really important to decide before you apply. And that might change as you're going through the schools. You're like, oh shit, these requirements are not something that I want to do. And that's totally okay. But I wanted to make it sure, hear that you know what you want to do before you apply. So the most important thing is to know, in my opinion, is to know what profession you want. I suggest going into grad school with a career in mind. Not, oh, I like sociology, I'm going to go to grad school in sociology. I want to be a clinical therapist, and these are my options of what I want to do. So that's my suggestion, is that go with a career in mind, because when you leave with student loan debt, you're going to want a career that pays you and that you can start working in right away. It will help relieve some of the stress. It will also help you connect and keep you in the program for longer when you have a clear goal in mind. So knowing if that's what you want to do, know what profession you want, and then based on the type of work you want to do, look at the different degree programs and careers and professional orders within that field. So for example, for therapy, if you want to be a therapist, in general, you want to work with people in their mental health, there are a bunch of different options. You can be an occupational therapist, an ergotherapeut. So that's more structural, social. You're helping the person really live their life day to day. Sometimes ergotherapeut also do addictions and stuff like that. So that's one option. Another option is to be a counselor, which requires a master's in counseling. There is a master's of social work. There is the PsyD, the professional doctorate in clinical psychology. There's a PhD in psychology. There's a PhD in clinical psychology. There's somatics. There's a lot of different things that you can go into to do clinical work. The difference is the amount of research you want to do, the amount of education you want to do, and ultimately the degree, the way you want to do therapy is important. So look into the professional order for each field. So if you want to be a licensed clinical social worker, look into the Ordre de Travailleurs et Travailleuses Sociaux.